So welcome back to Midwifery Wisdom Reacts. We review YouTube videos, vlogs, we review reality TV shows, and some drama birth scenes. That's what we're looking at. And we specifically focus on out-of-hospital birth. That's what we're really focused on. So my name's Augustine. I'm a midwife of almost 25 years, and I am joined with Meredith, who's a student midwife, and Becca, who's a mama. And from those three different perspectives, we talk about birth from the community perspective, from the midwifery's perspective, mom, baby, family's perspective. And we try to get a little bit more knowledge and understanding about what's happening and how it could happen optimally. So today we're going to watch a video about someone who didn't even know they were pregnant. Let's check it out.
In 2006, 43-year-old Glynis and her fiancé James were looking forward to spending the best years of their lives free from the pressures of raising children. The couple no longer used any form of contraception.
I was off the pill for 3 years. I stopped taking it when I was 40. And for 3 years, nothing happened.
That summer, when Glynis started missing periods, she thought it was the onset of the menopause.
I never felt tired. I wasn't having any backaches. I was just doing my normal every day.
Then, in the spring of 2007, Glynis developed a strange craving.
Pica is what's called when someone craves non-food substances. So the most common pica things are ice. And some people even want the freezer burn ice, like off the inside of the freezer. That's a really giveaway. Clay, dirt. Sometimes people want to smell gasoline or want to eat other things that are not food substances. This is called pica. And it's a condition that happens in pregnancy sometimes, and it's almost always related to iron deficiency. So the way to check for iron deficiency is to get your ferritin checked, which is a simple blood draw, but most docs don't test it. They just test for the hemoglobin, but hemoglobin tests for anemia. Iron deficiency is only tested with using the blood test for ferritin. And optimal ferritin is about 125 to 200, and low is under 100, and critical is under 45, just so you can interpret it correctly, because the lab values that come from the labs are not optimal or even normal. They're just the average of the last 1,000 people that have been drawn. And so because iron is the most common nutrient deficiency on the globe, there's over 1.5 billion people on the planet who are iron deficient, and those are the ones getting tested. There's probably even more that aren't tested. It means that your neighbors are also deficient. And so the whole estimation, the whole range is trending down. So make sure you know what normal is. And normal is over 125.
I was at my kitchen sink about to do dinner. I got a pain in my pelvic area that was like nothing I had ever felt. That's when I said, well, maybe I need to go and lay down.
Honey?
James, baby.
Glynis was back in the bedroom. She didn't know what was wrong. She just was feeling these pains.
What's wrong? Could be labor.
Well, I told her it sounded like labor pains.
And I said, don't you have to be pregnant to be in labor?
When they reached hospital, Glynis was still in agonizing pain.
I had to go to the ladies' room, and James pushed me to the door. And when I tried to go, I saw drops of blood.
A nurse rushed Glynis into an examination area.
She says, we need you to get up, and we'll do your pelvic exam. As soon as both my feet hit the floor, I felt the gush of water. So as they proceeded to lift my leg to get up on the bed, I just felt this tightness, and something dropped, like fell out of me and into my pant leg.
Something just came out of me.
The nurse helped Glynis out of her trousers.
Let's see what's going on.
I could feel something hitting my inner thighs. The nurse yells, congratulations. I said,
For what? It's a girl.
A girl what?
Well, when was your due date?
I don't have a due date.
I didn't have a due date because I wasn't supposed to be pregnant.
Glynis had just delivered a baby girl,
It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get her.
and she'd done it without any pain medication.
I literally gave birth.
That's required.
The newborn was rushed away to be examined, while the stunned
See,
new
that's
mother
the
delivered the
stupidest thing
placenta.
ever.
She is just fine. Everything checked.
Thankfully, the 3-kilogram baby girl was perfectly healthy and thought to be full term.
Well, yeah, that's
She's
about
perfect.
7
Her
pounds.
eyes,
That's
her
normal.
hearing, her heart, everything was perfect.
Wonder how long they were
She's so
separated.
beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
It was just a blessing that the baby came out healthy.
That is some crazy story, though. Can you even imagine?
I feel like on these I didn't know I was pregnant ones, it's always at the end, there's always this, I didn't know if she was okay or he or
Yeah.
gone
Yeah.
for so long. I thought something was wrong,
Yeah.
and they're always okay.
Yeah. Well, they're reinforcing the cultural notion that you need hospitals and doctors to do this because the body couldn't possibly do it successfully on its own. And that's the part that just kind of irkles me. Is that a word? Irkle? Irks? That's the word. That's just irks me,
It
man.
infuriates me.
Yeah.
It
like when it says
infuriates
they
me.
did
That's
it-
a better word. Yeah, because it's not true.
At all. Our bodies were designed to do this.
Preach. Keep talking. Just keep going. I'm ready to just hear your speech right now.
Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so well, Becca, I agree with you. These videos, it's always like that, and it just perpetuates the fear of home birth. It perpetuates the fear of not using medical professionals, which obviously home birth midwives, we are medical professionals, but you know, the mainstream norm or whatever, that you have to have all this medical care and you have to, and granted, yes, I fully believe that you should have a care team, but in the event that the body is doing it itself, it can, like, we're designed to do that and it's okay, you know, like,
Man, yeah. And these accidental births like prove that more than anything. Like that's
Right.
how well the body knows how to do it. And to separate a full-term appearing infant instead of examine it close to its mother, that just makes no sense
Ridiculous.
to me.
ridiculous.
Makes no sense. Yeah. And then of course the announcer was like, and she gave birth without any pain medication. Isn't that amazing? It's like, so does the whole planet. Okay. Epidurals only exist in wealthy Western society. Let's be real now.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and I chuckled a little bit because I'm like, she got slight delayed cord clamping because
Yeah.
you know, baby was in the pants for at least long enough for her to cut them off. So it wasn't
Oh my
like 30
God.
seconds.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I have a friend who came and had a baby with me, with the second or third baby, but her first baby, she had in the waiting room of the ER. In the bathroom of the waiting room. She went to go to the bathroom and nobody like put two and two together. A full pregnant person who's here in triage to be checked, who has pressure and wants to go to the bathroom, might be having a baby. Nobody put that together. And she had her baby, an accidental, unassisted birth in the toilet, in the ER waiting room, because nobody was taking, this is the part where they freak out when everything's normal and they miss the signs where they need to be. Anyway.
I fully expected her to have her baby in the toilet. Like that's
Right.
That's what's going to
I've
happen.
seen it. Yeah, exactly. When I was new in my profession, I was volunteering at what is now completely non-PC, but at the time was called a unwed mother's home. A home for unwed mothers. Like this is one of the holdovers. This tells you how long I've been doing this. And many of them had ended up having their babies in random places. In a car, in a waiting room, in a bathroom, in their bed. One girl, she had her baby in the toilet, in the bathroom at high school during prom.
Oh my gosh. I wish that there was so much more support and so much, less of this like negative stigma around unwanted pregnancy or unexpected, unplanned, or out of wedlock pregnancy, because one, the babies don't deserve it. They didn't ask to be created or to be, brought here. And it causes the birthing person so much trauma and stress, which changes, like epigenetics is a real thing. Like it changes things within the baby with whatever the parents go through.
Exactly. There's this mainstream Hollywood movie right now about the really extreme version of this. In England, they had they called them the Magdalene houses, and unwed mothers were sent to these workhouses essentially, and they did laundry for the wealthy as part of their pittance for their free medical care they were going to get. And then as soon as the babies were weaned, they were adopted out, because you weren't allowed to have a child when you were unmarried in the 1940s. And so there's it's not a documentary, but it's based on many real life cases. And it's called Wilhelmina. And it's a story of this woman trying to find her son that was taken from her as a young kid. And it's on Netflix right now. And it's a tremendously well acted, incredible film, but it's also based on real life. This happened to so many people.
It is heart-wrenching.
It's heart-wrenching. And the scene where they take the toddler away from his mother is just like, you can't even imagine that kind of pain.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And we think about it in terms of, these like long-term, adoptions or forced separations, but we need to look at this initial separation the same way. Taking a newborn infant, separating it by cutting its cord and taking it even off of the mother, but certainly out of the room, is just as potentially damaging. And we'll link it below. There's a fantastic documentary about the psychological effects of early separation, and it's called What Babies Want. And it's narrated by Noah Wiley, that really handsome ER doctor. If you remember him back in the day, we all loved ER. He and his wife, Tracy Wiley, have both become what they call baby advocates. And they're spent a lot of money and time helping to create this documentary to help raise awareness of how babies and mothers need to be kept together, no matter what, even especially if they're having a crisis. Resuscitation can happen right on the mother. High risk care can happen right with and on the mother. Like the pediatrician has legs. He can walk to wherever the baby is, right? The babies don't need to be separated. The babies don't need to be in a room with all babies. That's an antiquated idea. Mothers are perfectly capable of holding and caring and nursing their babies. And the care providers are perfectly capable of coming and rendering care at the bedside instead of causing that initial devastating separation.
And for an appearingly healthy newborn, there is no reason to not just keep the baby on the mother anyway.
All the time.
The benefits outweigh the risks, 100-fold.
Extraordinarily. Exactly. Yeah. There's this also, we'll link this as well. There's this fantastic TED talk given by a PhD public health researcher about how many lives could be saved if we just waited 90 seconds from cutting the cord, and not just because of oxygenation, which is very important, and the cord is still delivering oxygenated blood, but also because 60 to 90% of the baby's iron stores are in the cord blood. And so if we cut the cord right away, those babies grow up anemic and iron deficient. And that, of course, is the largest nutrient deficiency in the planet. So we'll link all of these, but incredible resources. And this was a fascinating story. I feel for them, and also really instrumental in helping to demonstrate just some of the atrocities that are happening. And people don't think of separation as an atrocity, but it is. Watch a baby's reaction. Watch a 6-month-old, 9-month-old's reaction when you take him away from his mother. That is how we should all feel. Hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. This was fun. Becca, I love seeing you there with your little tiny one, always in your arms. You're such a good mama. Okay, till next time. Thanks for watching.